Hello and welcome to your movement practice. Today we'll be doing a full body feel good, feel strong flow, and I really hope you enjoy it. We'll begin on our backs. Legs are as wide as the mat, if not maybe a little wider. Shoulder blades tucked under a little bit, palms facing the ceiling. Just taking a moment here to arrive in the physical body. Calming the mind. Making space in your thoughts to build a mind-body connection. Allowing the limbs to be heavy against the ground. Noticing where you're holding on to tension. Feel the belly and the ribs expand as you inhale. And feeling that delicate cinching of the waist at the bottom of your exhale. Taking a few more breaths here to center. Breathing in and out through the nose. Now I'll gently flutter the eyes open and press the legs together. Drive the heels into the ground and feel the inseams of the legs press into each other. Palms turn to face the ground. Bring a little gentle activation into the hands as you push the palms into the ground. On an inhale, float the right leg up towards the ceiling. Both feet are flexed back towards the face, and you're driving the right heel up towards the ceiling. Trying to not hike the right hip up, but keeping both hips in line with each other. Finding a gentle toning to the core. Keeping the arms active. Now bend into the right knee. Trying to drive the knee towards the right armpit. Reach the right fingertips up and try to grab the blade edge of the right foot. Left leg stays long. And if this is super inaccessible, you can also hook the elbow at the back of the right knee. But wherever you are, the toes are flexed. The sole of the foot is pointing towards the ceiling, and you're driving that knee down towards the ground. Left leg stays active. Wherever you are, keep the right leg exactly as it is and just release the grip you have on the foot. And try your best to keep that same amount of compression in the knee. Actively trying to draw the right knee towards the armpit or the floor and hold. Keep the core engaged. Neck is long. Inhale to extend and exhale to lower. Find that squeeze of the legs in towards each other. Press the palms into the ground. Tone the core. Inhale, float the left foot up. Keep driving the right heel into the ground and not allowing the left hip to hike up, but actively send it forwards, as if you're pushing the hips straight. Drive the left heel up towards the ceiling. Core is engaged. Pressing palms into the mat. Try to find a little bit more length through the left heel. And exhale, bend the left knee, either hooking the elbow to the back of the knee or finding the outside blade edge of the left foot, making your way into whatever expression of half happy baby is accessible to you. Flexing both feet, driving the right heel down. Left knee reaches towards the floor or the armpit. Keeping the right leg active. Now slowly release the grip you have on the outside edge of the left foot and try to keep that same amount of compression. Core is engaged. Right leg is strong. Last breath. Inhale to lengthen the foot up towards the ceiling and exhale to lower. Find that zipping of the legs together. Push the palms into the ground. Drive the heels into the ground. Core is engaged. Now pick both legs up towards the ceiling. Drawing the toes back towards the face. Keeping the zip of the legs, hugging them in towards each other. Feeling that pressure in between the thighs. Core is engaged. Press the palms into the mat. Back of the neck is long. Now reach the hands up towards the ceiling. Flex the fingers towards your face. And bend into the knees, trying to place the knees on the triceps. You're in kind of a crow pose, but you're supine. Feel the core engage as you try to suck the knees higher up on the arms. Now lift the head, neck, and shoulders and tuck the chin slightly. Still look between the hands though. Pull navel to spine. Really feel the pressure between the knees and the triceps. Inhale. And exhale, release the upper body down, kick the legs straight, toes flex back towards the face, hug the legs in toward each other. Core is still engaged. Focus on the big toe. Inhale. Exhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling, fingers flexed back towards the face. Bend into the knees and try to drive the knees into the triceps. Or really anywhere to the outside of the arm, wherever your compression allows you to go. Feel knees pressing into arms, arms pressing into knees, core is engaged. Now lift the upper body slightly, tucking the chin but keeping the gaze between the thumbs. Keep the toes active, whether they're flexed, pointed, or somewhere in between. Allow the shoulders to pull away from each other, pushing the arms out, kind of rounding the upper back a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, release, hug the knees in towards the chest. Rock side to side. Massage the low back, feel that nice passive compression in the hip joints. Now slowly rock up and down the spine until you gain enough momentum to come over the legs and find your way into a tabletop pose. When you're in tabletop, tent the fingertips by gripping the mat with the very tips of the fingers so you create a little tented shape. Push the ground away with the shoulders, allowing them to pull away from each other a little bit and rounding the upper back, and then push forward. Lean the upper body forward as far as your wrist mobility will allow you without lifting the palms off the ground. Now come out of it gently, just for a moment, and then back forward. Pushing the scapula apart, engaging the upper body, gaze is neutral. And then pushing back, coming out of the stretch. 2 more times. Coming out of it. Last time, really challenge your range of motion. Engage the core, push the shoulder blades apart, make it super active. And then come out of it. Flip the fingers so they're facing towards you now. Do that same tenting motion with the fingertips and lean back until the very bottom of your palm lifts up. Then come forward. And then keep rocking back and forth, but keep that active press into the shoulder blades. As if you're pushing the ground away with the hands and reaching the hands further, rounding into the upper back a little bit. Coming in and out of it, following your breath. Next time you're forward, fingertips still facing you, but flipping onto the back of the palm. Just rocking gently back and forth, finding your end range of motion here and then coming out of it. Nice and slow, super intense. Walking all the way back onto the shins, on the toes. Just rolling out the wrists a little bit. Nice, slow, and intentional. And then the other way. Arms reach in front of you. Have that same pushing action as if you're going to reach beyond what your back will allow you to reach. It kind of rounds your upper back. Engage the arms and then just open and close the hands. Faster. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake out the wrists. It burns. Maybe your toes are burning too. Everything's burning. It's great. Finding our way back into tabletop. Walking the hands just a little bit forward. And then coming forward, kind of in like a half plank position on the knees, but the toes are still down. And then allow the upper body to fall in between the arms a little bit, but keep the arms straight. When you've reached your max there, push the shoulder blades apart, pushing the body up a little bit more, shining the back of the heart towards the ceiling. And then allow the body to fall. The arms never bend. And then push the scapula apart. Core is engaged. We go down, push up. Feeling the scapula move backwards and together, and then forwards and apart. We lower down and we hold. Arms are super strong. Fingertips are tented. Push apart. Down. Push apart. Send the hips back over the shins. Untuck the toes, drop the head. Now pull the hands towards you. As you round into your upper back, you pull the head, chest forward, coming into the plank, except for you keep the hips going down, setting the chest through the arms, lifting the head into cobra. When you're in your cobra, it's like half cobra, half up dog. You're going to drag the hands back towards you. Shoulder blades pull together, and shoulders pull away from the ears. Core is engaged. Inhale. Exhale, send the hips back over the shins. Pull the hands towards you as you slowly peel the body up and forward, finding the max range of motion in your wrists before your hips are forced to come down. Meet the mat, and then the chest flicks the chin up. Pulling hands back. Shoulder blades away from the ears, all 10 toes pressing into the mat, including the pinky. Then we slowly lift the hips up and send them back. Last time, peel the body forward, slowly rolling through each vertebrae. Send the hips down, pull the chest through the arms. Pull the hands towards the hips. Pinky toe edges of the feet are pressing into the mat. Shoulders away from the ears, arms are strong. Then send the hips back. Pull the body up into a neutral table. Wiggle the knees in a little bit more. Tuck the toes and hover the knees. Push the ground away with the hands. Scapula is engaged. Gaze is neutral. Fingertips are tented. Drawing navel to spine. And super slowly begin to push the hips back and send the heels down for your downward facing dog. Adjust the feet so they're about mat width apart. Pedal into the feet, bending into one knee and then the other. Find some stillness for 2 breaths. Walk the left toe a little bit more center, closer to the right foot. Left foot, I mean, not just the toe. And then lift the right foot back and high. Hips are level. Feeling the stretch in the hamstring. Trying to find length between the very tips of your fingers and your big toe. Press the chest closer to the left thigh. Press into the outer edge of the left foot. And now open the hip and bend the knee. Still sending the chest back in space. Still pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. Pulling the right heel towards the glute as you send the knee higher towards the ceiling. Maybe gaze comes under the left armpit, finding a baby twist. Then level off the hips, look forward, send the right knee towards your chest, and then roll the body into a plank position. One foot is lifted. Look between the hands, push the ground away, feel strong. And now plant the foot between the hands, firm up the legs, and slowly lift up, arms overhead into your high lunge. Back leg is bent to any degree. Legs are hugging in towards each other. core is engaged. Inhale to lift the fingertips higher. Exhale, arms come to a W as you find a mini back bend, shining the chest towards the ceiling. Inhale to reach the arms back up. Find that neutral spine, toning of the core. Exhale, lead with the heart. Open the chest towards the ceiling, pull the arms down into a W shape. Inhale last time, reach the arms up overhead. Find the toning of the core, the work in the legs. As you exhale, pull the arms apart, shine the chest towards the ceiling. Inhale to come to center. Exhale to pivot the body, open to the left-hand side, finding your warrior two. In warrior two, the legs are actively hugging towards each other. The front heel is in line with the back arch, and really make sure you're pressing into the outer edges of both feet. Legs are actively hugging towards each other. Fingertips reach long. Gaze is to the right fingertips. Shoulders stacked on top of hips. Great pose to find active work and opening in the hips and the biceps. Flex the palms as if you're pushing two walls away. Lean the upper body over the left leg. Now try to push the ceiling and floor away. Actively cinch in the left waist as you lengthen the right ribs. Now cartwheel the arms down to the inside of the front foot and spin so both toes are facing forward. Plant the palms onto the ground. Legs are still hugging in towards each other. Now wiggle the right toes out a little bit. Lean forward, bend into both of the elbows, and try to just get light on the right foot. Put more weight into the hands and the back foot. As you lean forward, lean the chest forward, and maybe squeeze the right heel towards the bum. Right hip is being opened with the right elbow. Finding the work in the arms. Keep holding, a few more breaths. Gaze is neutral. Inhale. Exhale, press yourself back up. Step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Drag the left toes forward, stepping the toes to the outside of the left hand. When you're in your malasana, your bum is as low as it can be with your heels still staying on the ground. And even if you're at your very end range, still bringing a sense of activity by hugging the feet together and lifting the glutes a little bit off the floor or off the thigh, off the calf. Push elbows into knees and knees into elbows. Feel how active this pose is. And now tent the fingertips on the ground. And slowly lift the hips until you're in a half lift with a long spine. Toes face forward. Engage the core. Find strength in the legs. And slowly float the hands up to a T shape without losing any length in the spine and without losing any work in the core. Slight bend to the knee, just to protect the knee. Gaze is neutral. Weight is mostly in the toes. Inhale. Exhale, lower the hands as you heel toe the feet together, finding your forward fold, Uttanasana. Curling in at the bottom. Maybe gaze is to belly button. Deep bend in the knee as you slowly roll up to stand, engaging the core. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive over the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank and hold. Heels drive towards the back of the mat, pushing the ground away with the arms to find the work in the scapula. Gripping the fingertips into the mat. Finding the work in the glutes. Then slowly lower all the way down to the belly, slower than you want to. Keep the hands where they are, all 10 toes grip into the mat as you slowly squeeze the elbows in towards each other. Shoulders press away from the ears and peel the chest up by straightening the arms. As far as you can go before you start to lift your pelvis. Elbows hug towards each other. Drag the hands back, activating the triceps. Shoulders pull away from the ears. Gaze is neutral. Relax the glutes. Engage the core. Inhale. Exhale, lower the chest. Inhale. Exhale, push yourself back up to plank. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet are wide, pedaling out the feet. Finding some stillness. Walk the right toes a little closer towards the left. Lift the left toes up. Find length between the big toe and the fingertips. Both hip bones face towards the ground. Push the chest back towards the thigh. Feel the work in the right hamstring and the left glute. And now open the hip, bend the knee. Shoulders are both facing the ground, but the hips are trying to stack on top of each other. Gaze is under the right armpit. Maybe you can peek under and see your toes. Squeezing heel to bum. Knees trying to face the ceiling. Now level off the hips. Drive the left knee forward until it's touching your chest. And then roll forward into your plank. Push the ground away with the hands. Drive the left knee up. Squeeze heel to bum. Now plant the foot between the hands. Right knee bends to any degree as you slowly rise up to your high lunge, arms overhead. Feet are hugging in towards each other. Right heel reaches back. Inhale to reach up out of the waist. Exhale to cactus the arms or goalpost the arms and shine the chest towards the ceiling. Inhale to come to center. Find the work in the legs. Find strong arms. Inhale. Exhale, peel the chest towards the ceiling as the arms come down to a W. Inhale to straighten the arms. Find the work in the legs. Maybe sink a little deeper. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale back to center. Exhale to pivot open into your warrior two. My leg is burning. Deep bend into the front knee. Front heel is aligned with the back arch, pressing into the outer edges of both the feet. Arms reach long, shoulders stacked over hips, and hugging the legs towards midline underneath of you. Gazes to the front fingertips. Come back to the breath. Now flex the palms And lean over the right leg, trying to push the ceiling and the floor away from each other. Finding the active cinch in the right waist and the lengthening of the left ribs. And now cartwheel the arms down to the inside of the left foot. Right toes face forward. Walk out the left toes a little bit. Coming onto the palms of the hands. Squeeze the left knee towards left tricep. And now try to put more weight into your other 3 limbs and become light on your left toes. Bend into the elbows, lean forward. Maybe you can pick the right foot off the ground, squeeze heel to bum. Keep the arms strong. You can always lower down to the back knee. Sorry, that would have been good to know on the other side, wouldn't it? Gaze is neutral. Push the arms straight, plant the left toes to the outside of the left hand. Drag the right toes forward to the outside of the right hand and sink the hips to any degree where you can still keep your heels on the ground. Keep this posture active if you're super flexible. Just hug the legs in towards each other and lift the bum a little bit off the ground. Push elbows into knees and knees into elbows. Now tent all 10 fingertips. Slowly lift the hips and straighten the legs, finding your flat back, toes face forward. Slight bend in the knee, weight goes mostly in the toes and gaze is neutral between the hands. Find that work in the core, belly button to spine. Now firm up the legs, firm up the core, and float the hands to a T shape, outstretched. Feel the work in the scapula that allows your arms to lift. Feel the work in the core. Inhale. Exhale, arms float down as you heel toe the feet together and drape the body over the legs, curling in at the bottom, finding your Uttanasana forward fold. Deep bend in the knee. Firm up the core and the legs as you slowly roll to a standing position. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, lower just the arms. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive over the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank and hold. Push the ground away with the hands, engage the scapula, shoulders away from the ears. Drop the hips a little bit. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Keep the hands where they are. Elbows hug in towards midline, pressing into all 10 toes, especially the pinky toe edge. As you inhale, you slowly pull the chest off the ground before your pelvis lifts. Hug the elbows together, shoulder blades down away from the ears, pulling the hands back, engaging the triceps. Press into the pinky toe edges of the feet. Core is engaged. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, push straight back to plank. Inhale in your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Walk the left toes a little closer towards the right. As you lift the right toes up, hips are level first. Feeling the stretch in the left hamstring. Now we open the hip, bend the knee. Come up on tented right fingertips as you increase the twist a little bit. sucking heel towards the bum, knee towards the ceiling. Pressing the chest back towards the thigh. Maybe try to stack the hips a little bit more on top of each other. Now plant both palms on the ground. Drive the right knee forward, trying to plant the thigh onto the chest, and roll the body forward into your plank hold. Gazes between the hands, push the ground away with the shoulders. Plant the foot between the hands, rise up for your high lunge. Reach the arms up out of the waist. Hug the legs under you towards each other. And now leading with the heart, peel the chest towards the ceiling as the arms come into a W. Maybe you can straighten the back leg a little bit more as you sink lower into your right knee. Scapula come together and down the spine. Slowly lift your way back to high lunge and then cartwheel open to a warrior two. Lean the upper body forward as far as it can go and hold. Feel the work in the legs. And now tip forward, trying to touch fingertips towards the ground, or forearm can come to knee. Left fingertips reach up overhead. If your forearm is on the leg, push the forearm into the knee. Find an active opening. And if your fingers are on the floor, push the knee into the tricep. Press into the outer edge of the back foot. Left hand sweeps up overhead and drags your body back up to a warrior two. Flex the hands, lean back, reverse your warrior. Deep bend in the front knee still, pushing ceiling and ground away. And then cartwheel the arms to the inside of the front foot. Whew. Just allow that back knee to come down. Sink a little bit deeper into the right hip. We'll be here for 5 more breaths. Just giving you enough time to feel a little bit more open in the right hip. Two more breaths. Look forward, drag the left toes up to the outside of the left hand and find that malasana, that yogi squat. Plant the hands on the ground in front of you and feel that, that pressure between the knees and the triceps. Lean forward a little bit. Arms are bent, gaze is neutral, and then lean back. Lean forward. Keep that pressure between knees and elbows, and then lean back. Do it a few more times and just feel like light enough that you could lift off, but you're not going to. Press the ground away, engaging the scapula. Tent the fingertips back towards you. Arms are strong. One more time. Forward and back. Finding your malasana. Tented fingertips on the ground as you send the hips high, straighten the legs, halfway lift. Find length between the crown of the head and the tailbone. Tone the core. Very slight bend to the knees as you float the hands up towards a T shape. Scapula is strong. Inhale. Exhale, float the arms down, heel toe the feet together. Fold. Deep bend in the knee, roll up the spine to stand, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, lower just the arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive over the thighs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank and hold. Find the work in the core, the work in the arms. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower onto the belly. Keep the hands where they are. Press into all 10 toes. Elbows hug towards each other. Shoulders pull away from the ears. Lift the chest. Hands drag back, but they don't move. Just the action of dragging back. Core is engaged. Inhale. Exhale to lower. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, push straight back into plank. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left toes reach back behind you. Level off the hips. Feel first the stretch in the right hamstring. Find length in the body. Press the chest back towards the right thigh. Now open the hip, bend the knee. Come up onto tented fingertips on the left hand. Lean the foot over to the right hand side and peek underneath the right armpit. Maybe you can see the left toes. Squeeze heel to bum. Try to stack the hips. Level off the hips, plant the left hand. Drive the left knee forward. Try to stick the thigh onto the chest. Roll forward into your plank pose. Hold. Plant the left foot between the hands. Rise up for high lunge. Arms reach up. There's any degree of bend in the back leg. Inhale. Exhale, peel the chest towards the ceiling. Arms come into a W shape. Maybe you can straighten the back leg a little bit more. Shoulder blades hug together and down the spine. Core is engaged. Sink deeper into the left knee. Inhale to slowly lift up, arms overhead. Exhale to cartwheel the arms into your warrior two. Leg is burning. Sink deeply into the left knee. Find your alignment. Hug the legs together. Gaze is to the front fingertips. Now lean forward, reaching the left fingertips forward. Keep the legs strong. And now either forearm finds the thigh or fingertips or hand find the ground. Wherever you are, back arm reaches up overhead. If the palm or fingertips is on the ground, press the knee into the tricep. Hug the legs together under you. Right fingertips reach for the ceiling and back as you slowly peel yourself up to warrior two. Palms flex. Lean over the back leg. Push ceiling and floor away. Deep bend in the front knee. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. to the inside of the left foot. Heel to the left foot out to the left a little bit more, and then lower the back leg. Finding your nice passive lizard lunge. Maybe you come down onto elbows. Sorry, would have been also nice to know on the other side. Three more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Hands are planted. Drag the back toes forward and plant them to the outside of the right hand. Same thing, we're going to do our rocks, and maybe this time you find a little bit of flight time. Palms plant on the ground, hug knees into triceps, slowly rock forward. Maybe the toes lift. Maybe not. Maybe you keep doing those rocks until you find a little bit of air time, hugging the elbows in towards each other. Maybe toes come to touch if you're here. Pushing the ground away with the arms, engaging the scapula. Neck is neutral. If you're up, slowly lower the feet back into your malasana. Everybody gathers hands at heart center. And we slowly make our way onto the bum. Soles of the feet plant on the ground. Time check, way over a half hour. Lean the body forward and slowly round the spine, making your way onto the back. Arms come out to a T, shins are parallel with the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, lean the knees over to the right hand side, finding a gentle twist. Gaze is over the left shoulder. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, knees go over to the left-hand side. Gaze is over the right shoulder. Inhale back through center. Exhale, plant both the feet on the ground. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, grab onto whatever part of your leg is accessible. Keep the toes flexed back towards the face. Micro bend in the knee. Sending your tailbone towards the ground. And sending your heel up. Try to keep both shoulder blades on the ground. Gazes to the big toe. Inhale. Exhale, switch. Bringing a gentle tone to the core, sending the tailbone down towards the ground. Keeping both shoulder blades on the ground. Micro bend in the knee. Inhale. Exhale, lower the foot onto the ground. Feet are mat width distance apart as you just allow the knees to fall over to the right, center, and then to the left. Moving between both sides, allowing the low back to release a little bit. Next time you're in the center, stay there and allow the legs to come long and heavy. Arms come out to the sides, shimmying the shoulder blades under you. Allow the eyes to close. Start to calm the breath. Allow your mind and your body to let go of the practice. Allowing your mind to enter a state of stillness. Even though the limbs are heavy, the chest feels light. And if at all you find that your mind is starting to wander, gently guiding it back to the breath, maybe the energy flowing around in your body. Allowing the muscles to settle on the bones. Let yourself feel heavy. Come back to the breath. Feel your belly rise and fall with your inhales and exhales. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Reach the hands up behind you overhead and suck the legs together and point the toes and reach them forward. Inhale through the nose, fill up the whole body, and when you exhale, exhale through the mouth in a sigh. Allow the body to collapse. One more time. Inhale, stretch the body. Exhale, sigh, and collapse. Pull yourself into a seated position, cross-legged on the mat. The palms meet at heart center as the crown of your head reaches up and your tailbone reaches down. Thank you so much for joining me on this fiery 55-minute class. Definitely not 30. Sorry about my time management skills, and thank you for practicing with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.